Welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm your host, Janet Crescent. I'm filling in this week for Justin Riley. Talking about pain to start out our conversation today. If you knew there was something that could help your pain, that's worked for people for over 2,000 years, with little or no side effects, and might even be covered by insurance, would you consider it? We're going to be talking about that today. With me, I have Gladys Novak. She is with Abundant Health Acupuncture. Thanks for joining me today,
Thank
Gladys.
you.
Nice to meet you. So, acupuncture is actually part of a broader category of traditional Chinese medicine. And so tell our viewers more about that category of traditional Chinese medicine. TCM, I think, yes?
Yes. It's a very broad category. It's been used for thousands of years. But the most important thing for the Chinese medicine is food. That's the first modality of healing, is what we eat.
I suppose,
Okay.
and not only does it help you heal, but it helps you and your immune system, so it's more of a preventive thing too, is that right?
Well, our bodies and every living cell in it depend on air, water, and nutrients. The only place to really get nutrients is food or an organically grown, cold processed, whole food supplement. Anything else isn't going to be recognized as a nutrient.
Sure. Okay. So traditional Chinese medicine, what kind of ailments can it treat? Can it help?
Oh, it treats almost anything. Chinese medicine uses a very old, ancient method of diagnosing. Okay, so they're using whether the body's too hot or an area is too cold, or whether there's a deficiency or an excess. So they can look at the body and use the face, the skin, the eyes, the tongue, the lips, the pulse, to diagnose almost anything, and they will have a Chinese diagnosis for it.
That sounds very individualistic. That's
very much so.
That's wonderful to have that individual attention, that personal way of diagnosing. It makes, I would think, a big difference.
It makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
And it really gets to the root of the problem. Rather than treating downstream to the symptoms, you're looking upstream to the cause of the disease, trying to fix the cause of the disease, which will make the malfunction go away, the disease go away, and then the symptoms go away.
Right. Otherwise, you're just managing whatever you've got going on.
You're just giving palliative care,
Right.
or just trying to get rid of the symptom.
So
instead of the real cause.
Let's turn to specifically acupuncture itself. We know that needles are involved, and some people are a little nervous about that idea. I've seen them, though. They're pretty tiny. So is it painful? People are probably wondering that. And what would a very first treatment be like?
Okay. First of all, pain is what everyone comes in very concerned about.
We've all got our little...
Yes, and after you have the first, couple needles in, I'll ask them, how are you doing? And they'll say, fine. And I say, was that a little anticlimactic? And they'll say, yes.
They were just expecting the worst.
So worried and so worked up.
Sure.
That, and after you've got 4 or 5 in, they do the big sigh, I call it. And it's when the energy of the needles is starting to take effect, and they do the big sigh. So, okay, and they really sink into the bed. Now, the first visit would involve a consultation. We have many questions that we ask on intake forms, and
sure, just what we were talking about, right? Making it individualistic. Okay.
And we will go over everything they've said and indicated, and find out what is most important for them. And usually it's pain. Okay. Once the pain is gone, they can start to think about what else they'd like done.
Sure.
But the pain is usually it. Not always.
Priority number one.
Depression, sleeping problems, digestion problems, those all rank very high.
Sure.
And so we talk about things, first of all, and find out what's their priority. We go in, we do quick exam, tongue, pulse, ears, nails, go over a few things, why certain things are showing up, and then we put some needles in. Now, I do a different kind of acupuncture from what a lot of other people do. I needle from the elbows to the fingertips, the knees to the toes. That's the area I needle, from the neck up, and sometimes some points here.
Sure.
That's usually where I needle.
We're actually running out of time.
We are.
I know, it goes so fast. If you're interested
Okay.
in acupuncture, you can check out their facility, Abundant Health Acupuncture. And again, this is Gladys Novak. She's the owner, and she's an acupuncturist there. Thanks for joining me today.
Thank you.
We'll have to come back and talk some more. There's lots more to talk about there.
There is.
Don't go away. When we come back, we'll talk about how your team can get some real-world experience in the business world. Welcome back to Talk of the Town. If you have a teen in your home, you may want to listen up. You know, there's nothing like book learning, but even more so, hands-on learning. And with me, I have Steve Benchwall from Business World. Thanks for joining us again, Steve. You're one of our news partners, and we love chatting with you.
Thanks.
So Business World is a way for kids to get hands-on experience, real business world experience.
Yep.
What's going on in Business World right now?
Sure. So we just got done with our summer programs, and we had a great summer. We got about 300 high school kids to come to a college campus, and we get them for about a week and teach them about business and how to start a company and how to interview and write a resume. But they have all sorts of other experiences while they're on campus too, and maybe that's the more important part of the camp is they're having a roommate, they're on their own, there's no parents, there's no teachers, and they're very self-reliant to be where they need to be on time and get their projects turned in. So they have an absolutely awesome time, and those are our summer programs, and we've wrapped those up. But before we know it, we'll have the school session starting up again, and we'll need to transition to that part of our program.
I just love that. Even just being on campus is a step in that direction of, you know, especially if students are a little hesitant about making that leap out of high school. What a great way to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So you're right, school is going to be back in session pretty soon. So what happens with Business World
Yeah,
then?
so Business World, we have two kinds of programs. We have our summer camp, which I just described, and we've been on talking about that a couple times now. But we also, during the school year, have what we call Mini Business World, and that's just a one-day version of our summer camp. And we take that one-day version all around the state. So we'll be traveling all over the state this school year, visiting different communities and engaging the high school kids in a one-day program that teaches them a lot of the same things that they hear in the summer, and hopefully they have fun with us in a one-day setting and choose to sign up for that full summer program.
So these mini things, is that so it's a one-day thing, is it on the weekends?
It's actually during the school week, so the kids get to miss school for the day, which is obviously usually
Well, there's incentive.
pretty popular, yep. But it's, you know, kids will tell us that we worked harder in one school day than we did all week, and we give them projects and activities, and at the end of the afternoon, it's kind of like the Shark Tank TV show, if you've seen that or if some of the viewers have, where the business ideas are getting pitched, and the best ones kind of get voted to the top, and the kids just have an absolute blast with it.
It does sound like fun, and I was looking at your website, and there are a lot of smiling faces, and looks like the kids are really having fun in the photos that you have on
Well,
there.
you know, business camp doesn't necessarily sound like the coolest way for a teenager to spend his time, right, to a 16-year-old, but they get on campus with us, or they come to a mini program around the state, and they just have so much fun. And you said it, the smiles on their faces, and they can't hide that enthusiasm, and it's so contagious. It's so much fun to be a part of it.
So do you have a favorite part?
Well, I think my favorite part is hearing the kids actually pitch their ideas. You know, it's kind of hard to get 16-year-olds excited about stuff these days. You know, there's so much out there that they're interested in, and there's always something cooler for them that they want to be doing. But when they get an idea, they start to kind of put some work behind it and build out a company or a brand or a logo or a slogan or whatever part of that company that they're working on. And seeing that excitement and enthusiasm is definitely my favorite part.
Your favorite part. That is neat. And the take-home lessons that you're hoping kids will get from this, what are some of those?
You know, they're going to come to Business World or Mini Business World. They're going to work with a pretend company and kind of be a part of that team. And who knows if that idea will ever come to fruition or not, right? A lot of them don't, most of them won't. But what's most important to me, that the takeaways are, is that you're going to get a sense of confidence that I tried something new. I had no idea what I was going to do today at Business World, and I had fun. I was better at it than I thought, probably, right? I made new friends and kind of put myself out there. That's the kind of thing that's going to serve you well no matter what you do in life, right? And if you have experiences like that throughout middle school and high school and college, then once you're ready to enter the workforce, you're going to be ready. You're going to have that confidence because of the experiences that you've had all along the way. And we like to think that Business World and Mini Business World, play a small part in that, kind of being one step along their journey
Sure.
to development.
Confidence is a big deal with teens, right? Yeah, I love that you're hoping to boost that. And it's sort of one of those bottom line things, kind of like learning how to learn. If you can learn how to learn, you're good to go,
And
right?
we try to instill that attitude that especially this generation of workers is going to need to constantly retrain and retool and keep learning. So if you can accept that and if you can kind of embrace that, you're going to be really well prepared for the future.
Very good. We're about out of time here. How do people find out more information?
Sure, I would say just go to Google and do a Wisconsin Business World search. You'll find our website, our Facebook, Instagram. We have some awesome YouTube videos where you can actually see the kids in action at camp and at the mini programs. So I would encourage them to maybe go to Google or YouTube. Would probably be
Alrighty.
my favorite too.
Steve Benchwell, he's with Business World. He's the program director there. Check them out online. Don't go away. When we come back, we'll be talking about one of the back-to-school essentials I'm wondering if you've thought about. Welcome back to Talk of the Town. Well, it is almost back to school time, and when you're doing your back-to-school supplies shopping, don't forget the back-to-school essential, your library card. Isn't that right?
That is correct.
With me, I have Dawn Foster. She's with the Portage Public Library, which is part of the South Central Library System, one of our news partners. Thanks for
Yes,
joining me
thank
today.
you. Glad to be
Love
here.
the library, love talking about the library.
Yes.
Let's get started with talking about how the, excuse me, the library can help kids prepare for back to school.
Okay, well, as we said, you pick up your school supplies, make a visit to the library as well. If you haven't been in over the summer, you're going to see a lot of changes. Book displays, lots of promotional materials about online information, lots of things that are geared towards kids and their families and getting ready for school.
Wonderful. And yeah, we think of books, but there's so much more in the library these days. It's really, really incredible. How about parents? What's the library doing for parents and
Okay.
supporting?
Again, not just the written materials, but we do have a lot of information on our websites, on the library systems information pages, a lot of databases, just a lot of information to gear them towards getting their child ready for school.
Like, pick a couple examples of what might be helpful.
Okay, well, ones that I'm familiar with as a youth librarian is the Novelist database, which is a great resource for recommending titles, book titles, and putting series in order. Kids love to read series books. They want to start
Big
with the
kids
first
too.
one
Yes.
and read through. And our Novelist is a great resource. Lots of reviews, just full of information.
Okay, and for parents, what kind of information do you have that might help them with their little ones?
Right. Well, again, we also have paper the magazines, the actual paper sources. But again, you can find those online too. Parents are busy, they're standing in line. They can be using any number of online resources to read parenting magazines.
Okay, very good. With the library, I do think a story hour and the little kids, and now even these days they have dogs in the libraries,
Yes.
kids reading to the dogs.
Yes.
What about the little bit older kids, the teens and the tweens? What's going to get them into the library these
Right.
days?
We've done a great job directing resources for our tweens, 8 to 12-year-olds, and then the teens. Not just books, and again, we have online information that's geared for the technologically savvy, but information on jobs, colleges, different things happening in the community that are geared towards the teens.
Yeah, I think the more technology you can have, the more you'll
Yes.
get those teens and tweens piquing their interest and
Yes.
maybe getting them through your doors.
Yes.
That's true. What about just helping people find information? How do you help people find, maybe somebody wants to come in and learn about something specific. What do you do to help them?
Right. Well, if it's a child, a school-age child, there's me. But we also have a teen librarian now, and we have a staff. We're all trained on, again, technology, online resources, the Overdrive, downloading books, those kinds of things. We also direct them to a lot of information boards, a lot of book displays, just something for every kind of learner.
Very good.
Yes.
And I do know that the library is really a great source with your databases.
Yes.
And tell us a little bit more about what those can offer.
Right.
Sounds
Well,
like lots.
it's always available 24/7. You're at home, you're at work, you're in the car. It's always there. I think that that's what has made libraries be the great resource that they are, because you can access them pretty much anywhere, anytime.
Right, there's no library hours for your website.
Correct.
And you know, with the internet, people might say, well, if we can just go to the internet at home, what do we need the library for? But on the internet, well, folks, anybody can publish anything.
They can,
right?
they can, and that's where you still need your librarian. We can be the authority. We can help direct you to a credible source. So I think it's a nice partnership that we work in person and online.
Sure, and those databases aren't those with researched information and,
Yes,
and
they
credible
are.
sources?
Yes, very much
That's
so.
very good to
That's
know.
very much.
We have just a little bit of time left. How are you working with the community in a broader sense?
Okay, I'm a very visible librarian in my community. I listen to our families, what they're looking for in information and programming. I make sure that I have a good rapport with our school district, and I work with homeschool families as well. So
So you're working with the kids, the parents, the teachers.
we are. That's
Good.
what makes us successful.
Great. Well, I'm glad you're around. So be sure to check out your library and maybe your librarian for anything that you're interested in when you need a little help. We'll be right back with more Talk of the Town here on CW 57. Welcome back to Talk of the Town. Well, this time of year, we're thinking about air conditioning, but I'm betting it's not too soon to ever think about your furnace and what's going on with that for winter. With me, I have Brian Olson. Brian's with Dale's Heating and Air Conditioning out in Verona, Wisconsin. Thanks for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
Nice to meet you. So we have something in common. We're both from Verona here.
Okay.
I'm born and raised in Verona, but I'm not going to tell you how many years I got. How many years does your business have?
Dale's Heating was opened in 1986 by my father, Dale Olson.
Okay.
I started working for him in 1997 and took the business over in 2006.
So you've been around for over 25 years then.
Correct.
Very good. I might have a couple years on you, just a couple though. Well, congratulations. A family-owned business is a neat thing, and having it around for that length of time is real special. Let's talk about the services that you folks offer at Dale's Heating and Air Conditioning.
We're a full-service heating and air conditioning shop, from sales, service, installation of furnaces and air conditioners, and then we do indoor air quality, humidifiers, air cleaners, and duct cleaning as well.
I was going to ask what that meant by indoor air quality, because that's becoming a growing concern. More and more people are becoming aware of indoor air quality. So duct cleaning, what are the benefits of that?
Well, you'd be surprised as to what you'll find inside the ducts in your home. Anything from dog hair, cat hair, dust, dander, building materials. And what we do is we go in with a big vacuum cleaner with a rotating brush on it. It beats all the stuff off the walls of the ductwork and sucks it back in through a filtered vacuum cleaner.
Wow, that sounds great. I know that when I moved into my home, the previous owners were cigarette smokers, and so I did have the duct cleaning done, and I think it
Yep,
made a
people would be
difference.
surprised as to what we pull out of there. So
Yeah, I
it's a
bet.
good thing to have done.
We could probably do a show on all the interesting things you find. Maybe we don't want to know. So I mentioned earlier that we probably should be thinking about our furnaces before we need them. True enough, wouldn't you say?
Yes.
And so when is a good time to start thinking about replacing our furnace and or maybe the air conditioning?
A furnace and air conditioner is going to last you between 12 and 20 years. When you get after about 12 or 15 years, they start to cost you money.
Wait, so say that again. After how many years?
12 to 15 years
Okay.
is the average lifespan of a furnace and air conditioner.
Okay.
So when you get to the 15-year-old point, and then the furnace or air conditioner starts costing you money every time. You have to have a service call. It costs you $200 or $300 to fix it this time. Maybe next winter it costs you another couple $100. At that point, we could have been spending, there'd be a good down payment towards a new piece of equipment, more efficient, longer warranties, that type of stuff.
Okay, this might be kind of a dumb question. How do you know how old it is? Is there a sticker on there?
Usually there's, you can tell by the serial number, or a good installer will write down on a sticker when the piece of equipment was installed. So.
Okay, so if that wasn't done, we might need someone that could interpret the serial number to tell us how old it is.
Correct.
I see. Okay. Talking about your business and the services you offer, do you have some specials coming up that our viewers might be interested in?
We have a $84.99 furnace or air conditioner check here coming for the upcoming winter and the fall. Duct cleaning we do at a $399 for the whole house. That's all the vents in your house, plus the main trunk lines in the basement. And then moving towards winter, we'll have humidifier special, $425 for a whole house. Humidifier installed.
Those are like those Aprilaire things, right?
Aprilaire automatic humidifier, correct.
Those can make a big difference in your comfort in your home, can't they?
Think about it, in the summer, when it's humid out, you feel warmer. In the winter, when you add humidity to your house, you're going to feel warmer. Helps with the throat, your breathing, dry skin, that type of thing.
Yeah, definitely something worth considering. Well, we're about out of time. How can folks get in touch with you?
Give us a call, 608-845-9353, and our website, dalesheating.com.
Very good. And you work with both business and homeowners, correct?
Residential, light commercial.
Light commercial. Great. Well, pleasure meeting you, Brian.
Thank you.
Brian is with Dales Heating and Air Conditioning. They're out in Verona, Wisconsin, my hometown, too. Thanks to all of our guests today for stopping by, and thank you for watching Talk of the Town. We'll see you next time.